EH98. You know what I find interesting about these hybrids, right? When they start up, yeah, when you press the ignition switch or whatever button you press to start up the bus, you won't hear the start motor. But with the older 2000 and the first generation hybrid MV400s, right, whenever they first start up, you hear the start up motor switching on the engine. But then when when the engine's automatically stopping, turning on, yeah, when the engine's automatically turning on, you won't hear no start motor. The engine will just turn on. But that's the same for B5RHs, because B5RHs also do that. You know, when they first start up, you'll hear the start motor, and then the engine will switch on. And then when the engine's automatically turning on, you won't hear the start motor. So that must tell me that whilst the engine automatically starts up on them, they're using power from the electric motors or something. That could be the case, because I've seen videos where, you know, people have got their cars to move. No. It could be, yeah, because when the thing's moving, yeah, the engine can easily be start up. No, because even when the engine automatically switches on and the bus is stopped, yeah, they do that sometimes, and you won't hear no start motor. You know, you only hear the start motor on, you know, these first generation hybrids and B5RHs, you know, pretty rarely. Of course, you never hear that there's no start motor for these though. But the first generation hybrids, like if you go to the E3, the SN60s, you'll hear the start motor when they first start up their engines. That doesn't apply to no, you know, Euro 6 ones, Euro 5 ones from like 2011 plus, you know. SE201. This bus here is tripping, fam. I heard it making some squeaky noises, man. I just heard it making some screeching noises, like it was like a slipping belt or something like that. Thank you. I've been noticing a lot of hybrid MMCs getting this part retrofitted to the rear with these new locks. I think it's to stop the thing from rattling or something like that. There's this part here, it rattles on the load. Let me quickly go upstairs, see if there's anything odd. AC's a bit loud.
Mount Angeles Road.
It's normal upstairs still. You know, you always got to check, you know, because you never know when there's going to be an odd part lurking about. You know, that's why I always check upstairs, because not much people check upstairs, and I've seen plenty of buses with odd parts upstairs before, you know.
12:30 to South Kensington. Medfield Street. South Kensington.
Cuando no tiene esta lista, y usted lo verá porque esta señora que yo en este conmigo, a mí me ocurrió una chica que me llama antes que usted. Yo le daba pena con una chiquitita lo tenía ella. Traerlo, no lo cogió. El chiquitín más tarde lo trae la mamá de ellos. Para que sepan bien, no voy con Joan a las 6 y me dijo que está malísimo. Todos están quedando de pan en mi casa. Tocó una por 4:30. Por una 2 horas. Y ya acaba. Joan ya va llegando, ya estaba en clase esperando los dos. Voy a empezar a
4:30 to South Kensington.
ya va a acabar, no. Para que a las 6:30, porque no la iré ahí. ¿Ya después? El chino. Ahí la.
To South Kensington. Gibbon Walk. To South Kensington. Gypsy Lane. To South Kensington.
EH98.